Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how to automate 90% of your practice's weekly newsletter. So the automation is going to be in two different parts. This is part one that you can see on the screen, and then this is the second part. Now I know this looks all confusing, but don't worry because I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. Now I'd like to give credit to a YouTuber called Jack. I will link his channel below. He's actually one of the ones who built this original automation, and I've just changed it up to suit a healthcare practice. So yeah, definitely go and check him out if you like these type of videos. He's probably the king when it comes to automating stuff like this. Now what we actually want the newsletter to end up looking like is this example here. Now this isn't healthcare specific of course, but these are the types of catchy newsletters that I like to read, and they really catch my attention. They're really simple to read. They have summaries, key findings. So this is the type of way I'm going to follow today. So the platform we're going to build this automation on is a website called make.com. You can see it up here. Just put this in, make.com, onto your Google search and it will come up straight away. And all I want you to do then is create an account, and then you're going to come to home, press scenarios, and then create new scenario. And that should take you to this page here. So just pause the video for now and make sure you get to this stage. And then once you're at this stage, it's time to get building. So the first thing we're going to need to do is actually get the news that we want to report on in the newsletter. So therefore we're going to use a tool called rss.app to automate this scraping of relevant news. All the softwares and platforms that are used in this video will be found in the description below. So you can either go to there and find this website, rss.app, or you can just simply put that into Google search and it will take a couple of seconds to come up. I then want you to make an account and take advantage of their 7-day free trial. Then after that, I think it's $9 a month, but the amount of time this will save you, it's definitely worth it. So once you have done that, I want you to come to my feeds and then press add feeds. I've already got my feed, but if I press add feed here, we can look for certain topics that we're interested in. So in my instance, for example, let's say AI in healthcare. Just press generate. And here we go, in a matter of seconds, this has generated me all the latest news stories that are AI and healthcare related. What's great about this, if you come to filters here, you can make sure words aren't involved. So for example, if I wanted OpenAI or ChatGPT to be completely removed out of this search, then it will have any article that includes that word removed. It will not scrape that news article from the internet. You can also either blacklist and whitelist, or if, for example, if you wanted to only report on news that are from a certain source, maybe a certain news channel, you can have it automate just those news. The same goes with if you want news only from certain news channels, or if you didn't want them to scrape news from a certain news channel. Some people may just want news from one source, and that's fair enough. Luckily that can be done here. I'd advise you to maybe read through some of the stories, see if it's actually what you want to report on. And once you can clarify that this is exactly what you want, you get this link here and you just simply press copy. So the next step is, all you're going to do is come straight back to make, and you're going to press the plus button because this is the trigger, and you're going to type in retrieve RSS so that it comes up here. And you're going to have this one here, the second action. And then you are going to simply put the link that we've just had from rss.app into here. And then I would put the maximum number of returns. For now, I'm just going to have it at 1, but that's the amount of articles. So I'm just going to put it for 1 for now. And then what we're going to do quickly is just run it, just to make sure that it actually does come through. So I've run it here, and you can clearly see that it has brought through one of the articles. There's the title. So you just want to double check that yours has actually come through. You'll know if it's from a relevant title. Step 2, you're going to press plus here, and you are going to put in http get a file. Here it is. And this will just essentially allow us to download the whole thing. You're going to click URL in here, and you're going to get here. You're going to select here URL. This will just allow it to download the whole page. Step 3 is another simple one. Just press plus, and you're simply just going to search for HTML to text. And once you've done this, you're going to press in this box here, HTML, and just select this top one here, which is data, press OK. The reason we do this is just so we can actually understand the language and what it actually says rather than it being in a load of gibberish. So step 4 is a one-line summary. We simply just want to have the automation to summarize what's happened in one line. So how do we actually get AI to summarize the whole article and put it into one line? Well, that can be done on another platform, and what you're going to do is you're going to go to openai.playground. When you do that, of course I'll leave it in the link description, but when you do search that, it'll be the top one result, very easy to find. And if you don't have an account with OpenAI, create one. It's free, won't be no trouble, very simple to do. Once you have done that, I want you to select assistants on the playground here, and you are going to press create new assistant. Now I've already pre-made the assistants because I've done this before, of course, but you can call this one-liner, one-line summary, whatever you want to do, and then you are going to put the prompt in here. So this is what you are telling the GPT to do when it receives this data from the text or the article. So the prompt we're going to be using today is on the screen here. You can take a screenshot of it and copy and paste it in yourself, or copy it yourself, whatever, but simply what you're going to do is you can either make one yourself. Probably won't use this one because you are going to have a different newsletter to me. Not just that, you may just have a different writing style or different needs, but you can always alter this to how you like it. But you're simply just going to copy this whole bit of text here and go back to the playground, and you're going to paste it in here in the system instructions. Then once you've done that, you're going to go and select the model. So this is all of the different models that OpenAI provide. For this, I'm just going to select GPT 3.5 Turbo. We've been running on that for a while and it's worked more than fine. So yeah, you can change it if you want, but I would just go with this one for now if I were you. So once you've done that, you're going to go straight back to make.com, press the plus, then you're going to go to OpenAI, message an assistant, then you're going to connect your account, okay? I'm not going to show you how to do this now, it's pretty simple. But some of you may already have your account set up if you used Make before. So once that's all set up, you're going to go up here and press Message an Assistant. Now I've already got all my assistants here, but you'll only probably have one at this point. So you're just going to select one-liner. Let that load, and then in the message you're going to have text. So that'll be here. And then that is all done, and you can just press OK. And then that's that part done for now. And then if we come back to my original automation, the one that I use, we're here right now. We've just got 2 more to go. So that's going to be the overview agent and the Airtable. So let's head back to our new automation. We're going to press plus again. I'm just going to quickly rename this one so we know exactly what this is. We're going to call it one line. Okay, and then now we need to have an overview of the article. So we're going to go back to OpenAI, and again you're going to do the same thing as before, okay? You're just going to go to assistants. Once you've gone to assistant, you're going to press create new assistant, and from there you're going to follow the same process as last time. Call it something that you'll remember it as, and then you're going to inject the prompt, which I'm going to show you now. So the prompt this time, you may want to take a screenshot of it, is this part here. We're just literally getting it to summarize what has been said in the article. And you're going to take that and you're going to copy it into your new overview assistant. Once you've created that new assistant, once again it's plus, and then it's going to be message an assistant once you've selected OpenAI. Let it load. This will automatically be connected. Assistant this time is going to be summary agent. I've called it that for some reason, but yeah, summary agent. And I've used GPT-4o mini this time. And then message is going to be text again. Also, just make sure you're using this text, not text from another part of the automation. And of course you press OK again. And I'll just rename this to summary. Press OK. And there's just one more step, and this is on a completely new, different platform again. So the platform for this part is a website called Airtable. You may have already heard of this. I know a lot of people already use this. If you haven't heard of it, the link's in the description, or of course just search Airtable on Google. It will come up in seconds. I then want you to sign up, create an account if you haven't already, and then once you have done that, you're gonna create a new table. So I'm not gonna show you how to create the new table because it's pretty simple to work out anyways, but you're simply here just creating a place to save all of the articles and all the news that RSS.app has scraped. So you may want to copy the exact layout that I've used. I've used URL, status, summary, one-liner, so you just know what the article's about before looking at it, and then last modified time. And also just one note, make sure you're selecting the appropriate column type. For example, this is a URL column, so just make sure you're selecting URL along here. For example as well, status, you want it to be a drop-down box, approved or declined. I think I'm pretty sure I have it as, yeah, there we go, declined. So yeah, once you've done that, I want you to go back to make.com, and before I show you the next step, you could also use Google Sheets, you could use Smart Suite, but for a starter, Airtable is probably the simplest to learn. But anyways, you're going to press plus, you're going to put Airtable, and you want create a record, so make sure you're selecting the right one here. I then want you to connect your Airtable account to Make. I'm not going to show you how to do that, it's pretty easy. If you don't know how, you can always just search it. There's some really good videos that will just show you how to do it, but you should probably have no problem. Once you've connected, go to Base and to Newsletter, and then you want, well, it depends on what you've called it of course, but for my table again it's going to be Newsletter. Anyways, once you've connected all that, you're going to go to URL, and you're going to select URL, make sure it's from RSS. Then you're going to leave status for now, you're going to put summary, and you're going to go to the summary part, and you're going to press result, and then one-liner, of course, go to the one line, and it's result for that as well. So now we're just going to quickly test this before we move on to part 2, so let's press run, so you can see them all working here. So here we go, this all worked, fully worked. We have all the ticks there, all 6 ticks, and now we're going to check if it actually has worked, because we will see in the Airtable. So as you can see here, look, already in here, we have the article summary is there. We have the one-liner, difficult to see, but that's what it's come up with, and with the link. And that's leaving us then to decide what we do with it after we've read this, which will then take us on to the next part, which we will get onto now. Now for the second part, you're going to want to make a completely new scenario. So like we did at the start, we go to the side here, you press scenarios and create new scenario, and we should just arrive on this blank screen with the plus. So what you're going to do is we're going to press the plus button, we're going to go straight to Airtable, and we're going to have it watch records this time. So again, make sure you're hitting the right one here, because otherwise it's not going to work. Now you should already be connected if you've been following along, so you should have no issue there. You're then going to go to base, it's the same one, newsletter, and let it load. Table, for me it's going to be newsletter. And now this is what we actually want it to watch. So trigger field, if you go back and have a look, it's going to be last modified time. Now the label field is the important part here. That's going to be status, because when these articles come through, we're going to have a look at them. We'll actually click the link, read them. We're then going to read what the summary is as well. We're then going to have a look at the title, and we're going to see if that is something that we'd like to include in our weekly newsletter. Now if it's not, we're going to have decline. If it is, we're going to hit approved. So let's just say, for instance, we're going to approve this. We've now hit approved, and we're going to quickly go back here, and I want you to make sure that limit is on 10, and we're going to press OK, of course. I would just have it on from now if I were you, but we're just going to have it on all for here. The next step is I want you to hit plus, OpenAI, messaging assistant like we've been doing before, but before we do anything with that, we want to hit this spanner button here so we can set up a filter. So label, or what we're going to call that, that's going to be approval. The condition is going to be status, because this is the condition here, status, and then we need to watch for the word approved. So in here we're going to have the equals to approved. Make sure everything's spelt right, and then you want to hit OK. So that will then filter out, so anything we decline, it will end there, and then the automation will stop. Anything we approve will go to the next part, which we're going to do now. So step 8, we're going to put everything into bullet points, like you saw in the newsletter that I like here. Look how they've put everything into bullet points. They've put this part into bullet points, the first news story. We're going to do similar here. So of course you're going to come back to the OpenAI playground, go to assistant, and you're going to create a new assistant. This time you're going to call it bullet point or something you'll remember. So the prompt you're going to put in this time, of course you know what to do. You can screenshot this, copy it yourself, change it. You might want to do that. Is this long old prompt here. Just tells it to put it into bullet points. We've given it examples of what to do. Here, 3 examples in fact. And then we've given it an example of an article that it's going to receive. So pretty much what you just saw in Airtable, what it gives us, that's just an example from there. So of course you know what to do. Copy this, put it into OpenAI Assistant, and then the next part will be to go back to Airtable. So of course you select OpenAI. We are going to put the bullet point agent. I use GPT-4o Mini for this one. And then here we need to be careful. In message here, this column, it's going to be summary. And once you've done that, you just literally hit OK. And then I'm going to rename it for now. I'll just call it bullet point, just so we know what's going on. And then we are going to hit next or plus, OpenAI again, message and assistant. Now here we want a key takeaways agent that will summarize everything it's seen so far, and then it will extract key takeaways from the article. So you know what's coming next. You're going to go to openai.platform and create a key takeaways agent. The prompt you're going to use this time is on the screen now. You know what you can do with this. It just gives some bullet points of what it wants. It gives maximum 50 words, and it gives an example 1, example 2, and it will show what a good output looks like and what a bad output looks like. So feel free to copy that. Just go into openai.platform quickly. I use GPT-4o for that one. Then you are going to go to key takeaways or key takeaway agent, select that. And then in here we are going to select summary, and we are going to also select results. And then of course you're going to hit OK, and you can rename this to key. I'll just leave it at that for now. We'll leave it as key, and then we'll move on to the next part. So the next part of the automation is a TDLR summary. So essentially, for people who don't really want to read everything, they will just in summary get a 30-word summarization of the article. If they don't have much time, they can just go to the TDLR, read it, and they'll pretty much get the gist of what's going on. So again, you know what to do. You're going back to openai.platform and creating a TDLR bot. So for this one, I used 3.5 turbo. You could change that if you want, but it's worked well for me. And if you're wondering what the TDLR actually is, or an example, this would be the TDLR. If you didn't have any time, you could just read that and you would kind of understand what was going on. And of course, we're going to go to make.com. It's OpenAI, messaging assistant. It's TDLR. Then it's going to be summary. And then it's going to be result. And then OK. And then of course we'll just rename this to TDLR and then hit OK. So we're getting close to the end now. There's just 2 more steps we need to do to finally have our newsletter up and running. Now there's only one thing missing. We have yet to have a title for our newsletter, or this part of the newsletter. So of course we're going to create a title bot. So back to openai.platform, you want to create a title assistant, and I will show you the prompt for that just now. So on the screen is the example of a prompt that I use for my automation. So it just gives good examples of a title and then bad examples of a title. Of course, feel free to copy this. We're then going to do our usual. We're going to hit plus, OpenAI, message and assistant. We're going to select the appropriate ones. That'll be title bot. I use 3.5 turbo for this. And then in the message, of course, it's summary. And then we want a result. And then hit OK. Now the final step where we actually see the final presentation is Google Doc, or alternatively you could have Microsoft Word, just somewhere where the text can be shown and you can read it, and then you can add it to your newsletter. But for this example we're going to use Google Docs. So to do that, just press plus, We want Google, and then it'll come up quickly, Google Docs. And then you're going to select insert a paragraph into a document. You'll be prompted to log in. It's really easy to connect. Take a couple of seconds. If you're really struggling, just search it up. There's a few tutorials on how to do so. So you leave these as it is. My drop down, my drive are the same. And then you need to select a file. I would just, if I were you, create a file for this. So we're going to select newsletter. And then there should only be one document there, and that's tester letter, which you're going to see now. And then you need to go to appended text. Now this is where you've got to be very careful. We need to make sure we select the appropriate and right things here. So the first part we're going to want is the title, of course. So I should have renamed this to title, but for now we know it's this one here. If you look, that's the name. So we're going to put result from there. Then the next one we're going to want is the TDLR. So we're going to select that one, that will go there. Then we're going to want the bullet points, so we're going to go down to 3 and we're going to hit result there. Then to finish off is the key takeaways, that will be at the end like it always is, and you just hit result there. Then you press OK. Now it is time to test out whether this works or not. So what I want you to do first is make sure that the one that's come in is approved. Ignore these are just from other times, but just make sure it's actually on approved. And then you're going to go back to your automation, the second one, or you can go to the first one first if you want and try it from there, but we've already done the first part as you saw because it popped up in the table. So let's go from the second part, and we're just going to hit run once. So the automation is fully done now. There was no issues with it. Took a couple of minutes, so if it does take a while, that's fine. It's just because all the GPTs are talking to one another. But we're now going to go to the document. This is what is inserted, so I'm pretty happy with this. The layout isn't brilliant, but we've got the title, the TDLR, the bullet point, and then the end summary. I mean, I'd be happy to insert that into my newsletter any day. You may want to edit it, add parts, of course. You may not want to add it in, but to me that looks pretty good. So yeah, that was the automation fully built out and fully up and running now. I hope I didn't confuse you too much. Again, if you have any questions or maybe you don't understand some of it, feel free to just leave a comment below. Alternatively, you could just add me on LinkedIn. The link to my profile is in the description. Just send me a DM, send me a connection request, then send me a DM, and then I can help you out from there. Now, I know I've already said this and given him a shout out, but I'm just going to leave a link to Jack's YouTube channel below. He is the Make.com automation master in my opinion, so make sure you check him out for similar things to this. So I do hope you enjoyed that video. Of course, if you want to continue watching my channel, click here for my latest video. Also feel free to subscribe for more content like this. And if you'd like to continue learning about AI, you can go to my description and find my free ebook, which is available for download. It's specifically written for business owners who may be not so technical. It will just help you understand it and demystify it a bit more. But anyways, I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.